Here we are, Grit Squad, 2022 fall season kickoff. I'm pumped. I think we have an awesome group of guys and families. So I'm really excited about this, the opportunity to work with you guys. Some of you guys, it's the first time. Owen, some of you guys Orion, first time working with you, but Taj is back. Good to see Mason. Tucker's back for the third straight season. So it's good to see you guys, good to connect. I'm Coach Miner. I think I know all of you guys, but I helped start Grit. Well, I guess I started Grit with the help of some friends and last summer. So it's been about a year and a half now. And I'm very excited, very fortunate to have Coach Willis will be this year's head coach of the squad. I'm an admissions counselor at Pacific University. So I'll be traveling a little bit this fall. And I have a newborn son, 2 months old, Jack Henry Miner, and a 4-year-old daughter, Maggie Miner. So you guys will probably get to meet the fam, but I'm gonna not be able to make it to every practice. So we're fortunate to have with us one of my best friends, one of the best, if not the best basketball coach I know, but more than a great coach, he's a great husband, a great father, and a great friend, which that's more important to me than anything basketball. So I know I was there at his wedding to stand up with him in front of family and friends. We did our little Euro down the aisle. But I think we connected over him being a walk-on in college, which I was a walk-on in college, which means we worked really hard and didn't get the love that the starters got or those that were playing more minutes. But sometimes you accept a role. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about is trying to define everybody on this team's role and then make you be a star in that role. So not everybody's going to be the guy that shoots every time. You know, we're not going to tell people they can't shoot, but everybody's going to have a different role because everybody's a different player and person. So my role, I waved the towel a lot in college. I gave a lot of high fives. I believe in high fives. I think there's power in high fives. I think that was my role. You know, high school I was all state, but I had to adjust my role in college. So I think that was one of the first things Willis and I connected about was both being walk-ons. I respect those guys because you do work really hard and you don't usually get the media or the fan attention like the starters do. But so John, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce, or I guess I did introduce you, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you if you want to tell them a little bit about what you're looking forward to this season and anything else you want to add. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit mute, turn it over to you, Coach Willis.
Well, first off, it's great to see everybody, and I'm excited to get a chance to work with you all. One of the things I'm really looking forward to is we don't have any true post players, right? So I'm looking forward to working with everybody on their ability to dribble, pass, and shoot, and read screens, and so to essentially play a form of positionless basketball. Does that make sense? So that everybody, hopefully, you'll be able to go back and help your high school team or be in a different position there. Coach Miner mentioned roles. Some of you may have started last year. Some of you may have not started last year. Some of you may not have made a team last year. But your role, what you're asked to do, will be different this year. So hopefully, the goal is for you to be prepared for that. We'll play a 5-out style of offense where parents, you'll see this, we'll be 5 out. You'll see the ball change sides of the floor. We'll go like side, middle, side. And if somebody dribbles, then we'll go like back door to a handoff, like clockwork every time. So that means you guys are going to be able to throw that bounce pass. You guys are going to be able to catch that and score off that cut. You don't have to read coming off the handoff. So for some of you, that might be in a situation that you've never been in before, but that's okay. We're going to teach you and we're going to work with you to make you more comfortable making those reads. For me, it's more important that you play with confidence. So I'm okay with you missing a shot. I'm probably more likely to take you out of the game for not shooting than I am for you missing a shot. Does that make sense? Because I want everybody to play confident. Defensively, primarily we'll play man, and we're going to get after people. So we'll be up the line, we'll be more aggressive. We'll run and jump some in the half court. So defensively, what we're going to be trying to do is create as much havoc as possible, to be as disruptive as possible. So that means on the back end, guys, we're going to have to be really smart in transition offense, because we're going to be in situations where it's 2-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-3. We'll probably be in those type of situations 30 times a game. So what are we doing in those situations? Okay. So that's the brand of ball that we're going to play. So is everybody okay with that? Is everybody all right with being able to run and have fun and be able to shoot the ball and make threes? And when we make threes, we have to yell out one word. This is probably the softest and quietest I'll say the word boom the whole season. But every time we hit one, the booms come ringing. All right. All right.
I'm pumped.
Coach this up.
I'm pumped. But now we get to go into some of the fun stuff. So most of you guys that have played before, communication policies, we're totally open to talking to players, parents about things. I know Tucker, we still have a meeting that we need to get set up to talk over some things. So I know you've been busy and you're out of town, and then I've been busy, but we'll still connect over that. But we have a 24-hour policy. So if there's something that you're frustrated with, whether it's playing time, role, anything like that, we ask that you take 24 hours to relax, think about it, think about what you want to say, formulate what you want to say, and then we can have a meeting. First, it would probably be with Coach Willis, and then if that's deemed that you still aren't happy with what that meeting, how it went, then you can meet with me also. But we like to, what I don't want is I don't want Coach Willis trapped with pissed off parents right after the game. So we're going to try to do what we do or what we believe is best, but that doesn't always come across to you maybe as what you think is best. So we just have implemented that 24-hour, just kind of a cool down, a chance for you guys to talk it over as a family. But we really are going to try to do its best. We're also not equal opportunists. So what's a good shot for Taj might not be a good shot for Mason. What's a good shot for Orion might not be a good shot for Tucker, or vice versa. Or sometimes people might not like their role. But I'll tell you, if you accept your role and you excel at your role will grow. I think three things. You got to know your role. That's on us coaches to help define the roles. You got to accept your role. That's obviously lots of times the hardest one, because everybody wants the role where they score a little bit more. And every player thinks they're probably a little better scorer than they actually are. And then excel at it. If you know it, accept it and excel at it, your experience will be a lot better with grit. Because not everybody's going to get to have the same opportunities, because some kids have worked harder to get to where they have more of a green light. Like Coach said, we want you guys all to have confidence. We've done our research. We've had calls with you guys. We've talked to you. We've texted with you. We've Instagrammed with you. So we want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. But if your role is to set screens, rebounds, be the best you can at that, and then it will grow. If you don't like your role and you mope or you pout or you complain, your role will shrink. So we want you guys to have a great experience. Those are the things that we're really selling in this is experience and development. So if you're looking for a team where exposure is your number one priority, we probably won't be that fit. Obviously, I've been a college coach. Coach Willis has been a head college coach. I know a lot of coaches, right? Like some of you guys have seen the pictures of me and Coach K, and obviously he's not even a coach anymore. I think he'll always be Coach K to everybody. But the GOAT, so I know I have his cell phone, and he's always told me, if you find the next Kyle Singler out there in Oregon, you better let me know. And that was about 14 years ago now that I've had Coach, or 14 years ago that he gave me his cell, and I haven't used it yet because I'm not burning that. I'm not going to waste that one. So it's going to have to be a surefire one before I reach out to John Shire, who was my assistant coach for a week. The next head coach, or I guess currently the head coach at Duke, was my assistant coach for a week at camp. Anyways, I digress. Kind of part of my coaching tree, not really. But if you're good, we'll help you find a place. The number one thing you guys can do right now to improve your chances, if you do have aspirations of playing in college, is get good grades and get better. It's not exposure. It's not getting out there and being seen this fall. It's about you got to get better, all of you guys. And I'm looking at all of you guys, Mason, Orion, Owen, Tucker, Taj. All of you guys got to get better and you got to get the grades. There's over 10,000 academic scholarships in the United States for every one basketball. 10,000 to one, unless you're like a big time gambler or you really like the long shot, I'd put your eggs in that academic basket rather than thinking, well, I'm gonna get a basketball scholarship. But again, not saying that you won't. If you are at that level and that's an aspiration you have, we're gonna do everything we can to help you prepare. But one of our first assignments is gonna be going over your goals. Coach Willis already knows what's coming. If your actions don't line up with your goals, change your goals or change your actions. So you can have goals, but if your actions aren't in alignment with those goals, you got to change your goals or change your actions. Otherwise, you're being foolish. So you can either change your goals and we can talk about that. And maybe college isn't what you want because you realize how hard we're going to push you if that's what you say. And maybe you decide you just want to be a good high school player, or maybe you just want to be the best grit player you can for the next 2 years and then go to college and play intramurals and have a great experience there. So we're gonna not hold everybody on the team. We're gonna hold everybody to a high standard, but some of you that have higher aspirations will be pushed further or pushed harder. So we want everybody to have their goals. So we'll teach you guys how to do that. So we have a goal sheet. I think most of you guys, maybe not Owen or Orion yet, but it's a goal sheet. You go through, it's like 3 pages long and talks about your short-term goals, your long-term goals, your intermediate goals, how you can make them smart, specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and on a timetable, smart goals. So we're going to go through that with you guys as the first exercise because we want to get to know, I want to get to know you, Coach Willis wants to get to know you guys because that's how we're going to help you. So I'll say it again, the two things that we're really stressing is experience and development. And that's something that is important to us because because you guys all have to get better. And I want this to be a fun, positive experience. And it is more fun when you guys get along. So now we're going to go through, we're going to have everybody introduce themselves, players, and have the players go first. So when I call on you, you will unmute. You'll introduce yourself with your name, your grade, your school, and then we will move on. But part of this experience is getting comfortable being uncomfortable, stepping out of your comfort zone. So I know that there's some of these that are cliche phrases, but they're so true. You have to learn how to speak in front of other people. So all of this is about making you guys better, not just players, but better students, better sons, one day, better fathers and husbands. So being able to communicate is a very important skill. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the player that's played the most recently with grit, Tucker. So go ahead, Tucker.
My name is Tucker. I'm going to be a junior and I go to Tigard High School.
Awesome. Thanks, Tucker. Nice. That's all we had to hear. So good job. Mason. Mason played with us in Vegas last summer. Go ahead, Mason.
Hey, Coach. I'm Mason. I go to Sherwood High School, and I'll be a junior.
Junior at Sherwood. Awesome. Taj.
My name's Taj, and I'm a junior at Jesuit this year.
A junior at Jesuit. Let's go, Crusaders. Go ahead, Mr. Lee.
I'm Orion, and I'll be a sophomore at Canby High School.
Thank you. And it's Orion, not Orion.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we all got that. The guys that are on the call, me, we'll make sure Coach Willis heard that. But Orion, awesome. Stoked to have you. You got that?
Orion, like the belt, right? Like the constellation.
Constellation, yep. Orion.
Future's so bright, baby. He's a star in the sky. I like it.
Owen.
I'm Owen. I go to Sherwood, and I'm going to be a sophomore.
Sophomore. Are a sophomore now, right? Or when do you guys start? Next week? Next Tuesday?
We started yesterday.
Oh, you already started. Okay. Awesome. Well, we're gonna do Zoom calls. If you guys saw the schedule, we will do Zoom calls on Sundays when we don't have tournaments. There will be assignments that we give you guys to make sure that you guys are keeping up on what we want you to do. First thing we'll say is whenever we have meetings, you will need to bring a notebook and something to write with. So I got my notebook here, but you guys will need a notebook and something to write with because we will give you guys nuggets and quotes and information that you will forget if you do not write it down. So nobody's going to be in trouble today for not having a notebook or a pen or a paper, even though we have some returners. Orion's not even a returner and he's got his notepad ready. So Mason, tell us what the G in grit is for. What's the G? We're an acronym, so you guys know what an acronym is. What's the G?
Gratitude.
Gratitude. Yes, good job. Thank you. I'll show gratitude for you for knowing that even after a little break from grit. But the G, and some of you guys now are looking away because maybe you don't know what the R, the I, or the T is for, but I'm going to go ahead. I know Tucker knows what the R is for.
Resiliency.
Resiliency. Let's go. So being able to bounce back, being tough, and with this pandemic, a lot of us have had some setbacks and difficulties, but how do you handle adversity speaks volumes. What did we lose? Taj, I guess, had to drop. How you handle adversity says a lot. So being resilient. So maybe Taj didn't know the I or the T, and so he dipped out before he knew the punishment that he was going to get for not knowing that it's intensity. Intense. I want you guys to be intense, not just in basketball, but if you're not intense and a little fired up about your life, nobody else will be for you. Nobody else will be for you. So you have to bring intensity. And I know Coach Willis will be intense and passionate and bring that. And I know Mason will, because I know Mason was energetic and right there up screaming right with Coach Willis. So if you match his energy, we're going to be a really intense team. And then the T is togetherness. Togetherness. There's some other good T words that we could have picked: toughness, tenacity, tacos. I love tacos, but we went with togetherness because togetherness is something that I don't see a lot of clubs or AA. We don't even really call ourselves an AAU team because we don't play in any AAU tournaments. And AAU kind of has a stigma, rightfully so, about just being all about exposure. And so we're trying to call ourselves more of like a club or a program. And I don't see a lot of other AAU teams and clubs trying to teach togetherness. And that's one of the things that I always say is play hard and play together, and I'll be fine. Win or lose. Obviously, I want to win. Let's not get it twisted. But even if we lose by 40, if we're playing hard and we're playing as a team and playing together, like sometimes we're going to get blown out, I bet, because we're going to be playing seniors or kids that are 19 years old that somehow still have high school AAU eligibility. And, you know, because I always say the best eighth grader is the one that shaves and the best freshman's the one that drives to the gym, right? So we might lose by a lot. We might win by a lot, but if we're playing hard and playing together, I'll let the chips fall where they will. I think that those two things are within our control. Who we play, we have some control over that, but not enough for us really to stress over it. We're going to play who we play, and we're going to play hard, and we're going to play together, and hopefully we win more than we lose, but we could lose a lot, and I'm not going to care. This is not my Super Bowl. This is about the experience and trying to help you guys so that when you do graduate, I get graduation announcements. I got to go to 3 weddings this summer from former players. Those are the things that are way more important to me than keeping track of how many wins and losses we have this fall. Hopefully we win, but to be honest, like that's not the end all be all. So when I said experience and development, it wasn't we're going to win every tournament we play in and we're going to get you guys all full ride scholarships to either Oregon or Duke, whichever one you want. We're going to get better and we're going to have fun and we're going to play hard and we're going to play together. And then what happens beyond that, we'll live with. So I've always stressed to everybody I work with and is around me that we control the controllables. And if we can't control it, we let it go. The weather is beyond our control. We all live in Portland area. So we all know it rains a lot here. Maybe it's easier to have a good day when it's 80 degrees and not a cloud in the sky, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna have a bad day just because it's a little wet outside. So, because I can't control the weather, I can't, if I complained about the weather and it changed, I would be one of the first to complain about it, but it doesn't change anything. So the message there is control the controllables. Your academics, you guys have a lot of control over how good a grade you bring home after first quarter, I guess, probably. But there's certain things that are beyond your control. And so we don't want you stressing over those things. I want to stress worrying about what you can control. So that's the gratitude piece. I'm thankful to be involved with all of you guys. I think we have a great team. We have 9 players. So we have 4, or there was 5 of you today. And then the rest, hopefully will be able to join us tomorrow. But we have 9 players. So everybody will get to play a lot. And like Coach said, we're going to play fast. We're going to play up tempo. So hopefully you guys have been doing a little bit of running and staying in shape and not eating too many tacos and not working out, because we'll be able to tell who's been working and who's been waiting. And those that have been waiting will get worked by those that have been working. You will get worked. The waiters will get worked by the workers. So hopefully you guys, if you haven't been running, maybe this weekend, maybe because we practice Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. So it's happening. It's happening soon. So I'll just run through the schedule really quick of what we have going on, just to give a brief update on that. And then we'll let you guys get going. So Tuesday, we're at the Middleton Jewish Community Center. Middleton, I believe it's. So we'll be there 5:30 to 7, both Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. So hopefully you guys, I know that's in Portland, so there might be some traffic getting there, but if you can, try to be there 5-10 minutes early, so that way we can jump it off right at 5:30. But I do understand. Let's see, there's Taj. Taj said he had some phone issues. So that's a good picture of Octavio. Looking good. But I know there is some issues with traffic sometimes, and that is one of the things that we do say is that not every missed practice will be judged the same. So if there is something that comes up where you have to miss a practice, just communicate with Coach Willis and myself, and we won't hold that against you, because I understand that there is things, brothers, sisters, that comes up and you can't always make practice. So just because you make every practice doesn't mean you're going to start. And just because you miss a practice doesn't mean you won't start. So we want you guys to try to be at everything you can, because that's a big way that we're able to develop. So the development piece of that, if you're not in the gym, it's harder for us to get you to develop. So we want you to be in the gym as much as possible, but if you can't, just communicate with us. And we will not hold that against you as far as not being able to make it. I just don't believe that a 14, 15, 16-year-old schedule should run and dictate the entire family calendar, which is probably a little different than some coaches who are saying you have to be at every practice, or I want you to be at every practice. Let's not get this twisted. But I do understand things happen, and I won't be at every practice because I got a wife and daughter and son and a job. And so if you guys can't make it, communication is key. I do hope that you'll let us know before practice that you won't be there, so that way we're not hearing from you, oh coach, I didn't make it to practice today. Yeah, we noticed, coaches will notice. You can't hide. We got 9 guys. You can't hide in practice. So if you're not there, Coach Willis, myself will know. So just try to communicate ahead of time and let us know, and we won't punish you too bad. So we'll practice Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you guys will be working out, running, push-ups, sit-ups on your own. Sunday will be a Zoom. Monday, we're going to do a workout / scrimmage. This is the 13th, no, the 12th. So the 12th, it's a Monday. We just added this. So I'll get this new schedule to you guys. But we added this event, which is workout and scrimmage with a friend of mine who coaches a team out of Vancouver. So he was my roommate in college. He played way more than I did in college, but he still a friend of mine, and he has a team. And so we're gonna do like a 45-minute workout and then a 25-minute scrimmage scored with refs, and make that on Monday. Tuesday, we're doing a presentation. You're welcome to come, no pressure. I'll say that if this is not something that you're into, don't feel like you have to attend on Tuesday, but Tuesday is at Pacific University. So I understand that's a little bit deep for some of you guys, but there is a speaker, Dr. Richard Lapchick, and the presentation is on the power of business and sports to bring about positive social change. So Dr. Lapchick's father was the first coach in the NBA to have a Black player. So he's got an amazing story. I sent the video in the group chat. I believe I sent it, but if you haven't watched that, take a look at that, because you'll see what an incredible advocate for equality that this man is. And the things that he went through to provide equality, or try to provide equality amongst diversity. So he's a big proponent of diversity and inclusion. And so that's going to be something that I'll be at for sure. It's at my university where I work, but the School of Business is bringing this speaker to Pacific's campus, and that will be at 6 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesday, September 13th. So we will not have practice that day. So you're welcome to come. If you don't want to come, that's fine also. If you can't make it, that's fine also. But that is something that I will be at and would love to see you guys. But again, if it's not something you want to be at, no problem. And then we will go back to practice at the Jewish Community Center on Wednesday, the 14th. And then that following weekend, tourney time, let's go. First time we get to go against somebody else in a tournament. So that'll be fun, just to kind of see where we stack up, how we match up against other teams. And then Tuesday, Wednesdays will be practices. The 24th, we'll do a showcase in Olympia, Washington. And I believe we have that starting at 9 a.m. So that will either be an early morning, or you can head up there the evening before, but that'll be at Evergreen State College. And that is included in the fees that you've already paid. So make sure you let me know. I'll be sending out registration for that. I'll give you a discount code so you register, but it's free. But it helps me stay organized if you guys do fill that out, even though it's free for all grit players this fall. I'll send you the link and the code, so that way it helps, like I said, it helps me stay organized when I'm planning the event. And that's that Saturday. And then that Sunday, we will have a Zoom practice Tuesday, Wednesday, tournament the first weekend of October. So I will get that updated schedule sent out to everybody. And then we're going to roll all the way through to November 14th, which should be highlighted, should be circled on your calendar for most of you that are going to be trying out for your high school teams, because that's the day when tryouts will start. So we're going to do everything we can to help you guys be ready. I know I said we'd be off at 12:30. I'm still rambling, but I get excited about this. This is stuff I love. This is fun for me. So I will wrap it up with that. I'll give Coach Willis a parting shot before we get to this Ducks game. My wife's a Duck. She has her undergrad and her master's from U of O. So University of Portland, where I went, doesn't have a football team. So I don't feel like I'm like cheating on my alma mater by rooting for the Ducks. But Coach Willis has some ties back east, so he's more of a SEC guy. So he's a big Tennessee fan. His brother played for the Gators, so he's got more of that East Coast. But Coach Willis, go ahead and finish what you're eating there and give us some parting words before we go.
I'm actually having a salad, coach. So I can
Let's
be in better
go.
shape
Healthy.
for the season, baby.
Okay.
Straight out of the garden. I'm having a cucumber tomato salad.
Solid.
So
what type of dressing
yeah.
you put on that, Coach?
it is a you put a rice vinegar and a little olive oil, so it's and salt and pepper. So it's all good stuff. It's light, refreshing, straight out the garden, man. It tastes a little better.
Solid.
So anyway,
If you guys don't know, Coach Willis lives on a farm and has a really good garden. If you didn't know, if you need tomatoes, I have some tomatoes. I have some zucchini. But I'm not a
you
gardener.
need
I'm not a green thumb like Willis. Coach, go ahead. What do you want to say to close this meeting?
hey, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really exciting and really fun. I like positive energy, and I'm just looking forward to being in practice. You know, that's probably one of my favorite things about coaching is going to practice. So I'm just looking forward to it, man. And don't hesitate if there's any questions, anything specific that you feel like you need to work on, or if you know like what your role is, what they ask of you or require of you at your high school team, please tell me that. Please share that information. Okay.
And he loves
Right.
practice because sometimes he gets out of the house, and P Money can be a handful. Preston's got a lot of energy, as does Maggie.
As does Maya. And you may see them at practice at some point. Guaranteed. You'll see my little ones.
Maya will be
At some
scooting
point.
around. She'll be running around here soon. She'll be a
She
hooper.
already is. We were at Sherwood last night at the football game, and she was ripping and running after the game all across the field. You know, she was running. So she's ready.
They grow up fast, so fast. As all the parents nod and the kids are like, what? What are you talking about?
All right.
But we're gonna go ahead and end the meeting unless if there's anybody that's got anything they want to say or add. I will go ahead and end the recording, and then we can